Welcome to Talladega Superspeedway for race 4 of 10 of the Aflac Cup Series. And here's your race info for the Goodyear 499. This will be an 8-lap race. There are 19 cars, and this is the longest track on the NASCAR circuit. Now let's look at your point standings up to this point after 30 races. We see Joey Logano leading an unexpected lead with 46 points after 2 second-place finishes and then a third-place finish. Really good first win here at Talladega. Then you see Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, a 3-way tie for second. Then Kyle Busch, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Austin Dillon, Casey Kane, Jeff Gordon, who's been struggling lately, Jamie McMurray also struggling. Then with Greg Biffle, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kurt Busch, Danica Patrick, Clint Boyer, who's really been struggling, Tom Menard, David Reagan, and then Brian Newman. 44 points behind first place, which is, once again, Joey Logano. So let's look at the starting lineup for the Goodyear 499 here at Talladega Superspeedway. On row 1 will be Jamie McMurray and Joey Logano, your points leader. Then Brad Keselowski with the win back in Atlanta, and Kyle Busch. Then Austin Dillon and Clint Boyer in row 3. Row 4, Tony Stewart and Ryan Newman. Then Kevin Harvick and Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tom Menard and Kurt Busch. David Reagan and Jimmy Johnson, who's been struggling more than he usually does. Jeff Gordon and Casey Kane, a couple of Hendrick cars there. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Greg Biffle. And then rounding it up in the back, starting 19th, Danica Patrick. Now you may be wondering why the 3 Hendrick cars, Casey Kane, Jeff Gordon, and Jimmy Johnson, are starting towards the back. Well, they all wrecked it in knockout qualifying on Friday. Let's look back on that replay. Okay, so you see Casey Kane just came down too low on his teammate Jeff Gordon and chucked up into his teammates, their teammate Jimmy Johnson. So the flyover signifies that it is time to start the race. So here we go, ready to go green in Talladega. McMurray on the inside, Logano on his outside as they come around the tri-oval. Green flag as the race begins here for the Goodyear 499 at Talladega. Here it is, Austin Dillon moving up down the inside as they already come around to turn 3. Okay, there's Austin Dillon now trying to make a move. Joey Logano from the outside will just barely lead lap 1. And we have a spin out on turn 1. Lap 2, Kyle Busch spins out here at the very beginning of the Goodyear 499. Okay, so let's look at the replay. Just came down onto Brad Keselowski and got loose. He'll still be racing just from the rear as we go green now. Okay, so Joey Logano inside, Kevin Harvick outside. Green flag, lap 4. Okay, Brad Keselowski making a move with Dale Jr. with little or no help from Jr. behind him. Whoa, Keselowski gets loose. It's Jr. trying to make a pass. And there it is, a big crash across the tri-oval. Kevin Harvick, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Jamie McMurray, Ryan Newman. Wow. Okay, so let's look at the replay. You just see Dale Jr. trying to go inside of Keselowski and just caused a huge wreck. A couple cars that didn't wreck almost got involved as well. So here are the cars involved. You got Kevin Harvick, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Jamie McMurray, Brad Keselowski, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ryan Newman, and then Kurt Busch. Tough break for all of them. And Kurt Busch had a pretty good run. He was the 3rd car in the wreck. Dale Jr. had a really good run coming off the turn there, and same with Brad Keselowski. He almost led a lap there. The only guys who were able to actually continue after that was Kevin Harvick, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Jamie McMurray, and Ryan Newman. So NASCAR has issued a red flag on lap 5 while they clean up that wreck because that was a big one. Okay. So let's look in and see the cleanup occur. Okay, well, that doesn't make much sense. Okay, well, here they are in the garage area. Brad Keselowski, Kurt Busch, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now let's listen in on Jimmy Johnson, see what he's saying. Hey guys, they were all wrecking in front of me, and I had to hit the brakes hard. I almost wrecked the guys behind me as well as the ones in front. We'll go get him though, we're restarting 3rd. From up here, in the booth, we can see that the cars are now just rolling back out onto the track
after the red flag and now are under yellow, getting ready to restart for the Goodyear 499 at Talladega Superspeedway for a green-white checkered finish.
We now go green for a green-white checkered finish. 2 laps to go after that red flag. Okay, Joey Logano got a good run on the inside. Here comes Gordon now, moving up. He's going to take the lead with Austin Dillon high and Joey Logano in the middle, shuffled around by cars. Jeff Gordon leads his first lap in Dega. Okay, now they're building up 3 wide. They're catching him. Menard now has a chance at winning. Oh, Gordon blew the tire. Gordon blew the tire and spins out with his teammate Johnson hitting him behind. And a photo finish. Paul Menard wins the Goodyear 499 at Talladega Superspeedway. Alright. Okay. Here's your finishing order in this long and frustrating race for these guys. Paul Menard, Jimmy Johnson, Austin Dillon for the best finish of the season. Joey Logano, Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Jamie McMurray, Clint Boyer also with his best finish of the season. Casey Kane, David Reagan, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ryan Newman, Greg Biffle, Danica Patrick, Jeff Gordon, and then the last 3 guys got a DNF finish. Brad Keselowski, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Kurt Busch. Okay, and surprisingly, Joey Logano got his worst finish, finishing 4th this season in this race. So there he is. Celebrate while you can. Paul Menard, you well deserved it in this long and frustrating race. Woo! Okay, so let's look at your new point standings after now 4 races. In first place still, you see Joey Logano of 63 points, then 7 points behind Tony Stewart, then Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Austin Dillon, Brad Keselowski, Casey Kane, Jamie McMurray, who I believe moved up a few spots in this race, then Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Paul Menard, Jeff Gordon, Greg Biffle, Clint Boyer, Danica Patrick, Kurt Busch, David Reagan, and then Ryan Newman has just really been struggling this season. I don't know if he even has enough time. Unless he gets a couple of wins, I don't think he has enough time to clinch this one and call it a championship. Okay, so we'll see you next week for race 5 to mark the halfway mark of the season in Charlotte Motor Speedway. Then, 1 week later, we'll see you in Richmond International Speedway for race 6 to make it our third short track stop this season. And then race 7 coming from another long track, Pocono Raceway. Then the chase starts for race 8 at Daytona, then race 9 at New Hampshire, and then to end off our season, race 10 at Indianapolis, which I think is a great place to end the season. Now, for those who don't know how our chase works for the Aflac Cup Series, just like in the Sprint Cup, where the top 13 or 12 drivers are included in it, here, since there are only 19 drivers in the field, the top 7 will be included in it to go for ultimate prizes in the chase. Okay, so we'll see you next week. Hope you enjoyed this long and frustrating race here at the Goodyear 499 at Talladega Superspeedway. I know I did. We'll see you next week in Charlotte.